I'm going to do a quick review on the glove system that I use. A system as in not really purchased from the stores together as a system, just system as in here are the multiple items I use for my cold weather hunting in this order. So I know you can go online and there's several companies sell entire actual systems of gloves where there's 2 or 3 or 4 different sections that go to it. This is the setup that I like to use that is relatively inexpensive, but it does the job. So to start off, we've got 100% wool military gloves. Nothing fancy, nothing special. You can get them at the hardware store. You can get them online at 1,000,001 places. You can also get any local, if you have a military surplus store around you, these will be $1, $2, $3, something like that. It doesn't cost much. I just went with black because it was the cheapest one I could get my hands on at the time. I think I paid like $1.50 a pair for these. So they're very inexpensive. Just make sure you get 100% wool. It's going to be a little scratchy, but when you're out there hunting, you're not worried about laying back in a hot tub, so it's okay. You don't have to worry about a little bit of a scratchy wool when you're putting gloves on. So I use these sometimes by themselves if I'm maybe going to hunt in a blind or someplace where I'm not going to be climbing through the woods or through the thicket or timber, because the wool is like any other fabric, a threaded fabric sewn together like this. It will snag if you grab a thorn or what have you when you're walking by. So that's the first piece. Second piece is these Russell Outdoors APX Glommits. They call them Glommits because they're a glove and a mitt and put into one. These are both in Realtree. I'm a Realtree fan, just personal preference. Mossy oak is just as good. My wife loves mossy oak everything. I love Realtree everything. So to each his own. These Glommits right now, basically they function as a glove and a mitten is the same. You'll see you can pull these out. Your fingers are exposed. You can also flip up so your thumb is exposed. And what I like most about these is they're silent. So you've got this little piece down here that's a magnet sewn in, and then a little piece up here with a magnet sewn in, and then you open and close them and you don't have that Velcro sound. That's awesome. Same thing with the thumb too. The thumb flips back and then stays closed or stays open, whichever you want to do, and then your thumb can be exposed if you want that extra control. Now the good part about these, I also like, there's only one piece of this that's Velcro, which is going to be your wrist restraint, so you can tighten it up, but everything else is just going to be off the magnet. So like you can see here, the magnets flip back, hold it together, and it's gonna stay connected, and there's not going to be sound associated with it. So the deer or the turkey or whatever it is you're hunting, if you want to adjust your gloves, they're not going to hear that, which is going to echo like crazy, especially in a silent still woods. That's going to sound, that'll make your heart sink real fast if you hear that sound. So that's the other nice part. So if you're walking through the woods and you get that snagged, it's going to flip up. There's really no sound associated with it. There's also some good rubber webbing kind of grip that's glued onto the palm of these, so that way you've got some grip in there. I wouldn't say they're utility gloves by any means, but they'll help you hold on your equipment when it's wet, when it's cold, and when it really matters. These are not 100% waterproof. These are a polyester cover on the outside, and then there's a little bit of a liner on the inside, just a little bit of insulation. So you can use these by themselves when it's cold weather, not extreme cold. I wouldn't go out if it was 20 degrees outside. I would want to definitely put my wool gloves with it. These are great for springtime or early fall, to mid-fall, depending on what your weather is in your area. But when you put them in a combination, they're fantastic. I've rode, I've rode four-wheelers with these on. I've been out in the tree stand with these on when it's 10 degrees, and it's worked wonders. It's really a great combination, and it's very inexpensive. So, I paid $1.50 for these gloves, these military wool gloves, which I just got online from Amazon, so it was super cheap. And then you just slide them inside of your Russell Outdoor Glommits, and you're good to go. This is really, really warm for very, very cold winter. It's also extremely wind resistant. Now you're going to lose a little bit here with your wind resistant when you have your fingers exposed, and it's just the wool there that'll cut through a little bit. But when you put the mitt part over it, then you're 100% wind resistant, and that to me is what makes me the chilliest first is the wind. Because if it's raining outside or something, and maybe I'll have my hands inside in my pockets, or I'll have my hands inside of a waterproof hand warmer or what have you, just to keep them out of the water. But 99.9% of the times, if it's raining, I'm probably not going to go hunting. I've got other things I can get done in the rain that doesn't consist of me sitting in a tree stand getting soaked to the bone for hours and hours and hours. So the other nice thing I like about these is if it's on a really cold day, you can slide a hand warmer in there. And that's going to keep your fingers warm, or you can slide a hand warmer up inside of your palm here, depending, everybody's different. I would prefer actually to slide a hand warmer up inside of here, and that's going to keep my fingertips warm when it's really cold outside. So I can flip that up, so I've got my insulation and total wind coverage, and I'm wearing a mitten, and ready to throw snowballs, hunt deer, hunt turkey, whatever it is you want to do in cold weather. Or I flip it open, and I've got this magnetic connection on the back that's going to give me my fingertips. Now I'm ready for more of a fine motor skill. If I need to make a sight adjustment or windage adjustment, I can do that without worrying about exposing my fingers and chattering like a baby and complaining because it hurts, it's cold. So this is the way to go for me. I recommend. It's, again, Russell Outdoors APX gloves with 100% military wool gloves, and that's it. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned something.